badminton overhead swing is probably one of the most important and probably the first thing you have to learn to allow you to play your badminton. You're going to hit a lot of overhead shots from clear to smash to drop to slice in the badminton game. So this simple swing is extremely important, but actually really hard to master. So in this video, we're going to walk through some of the most common mistakes that people make, the fixes that you can do, and hopefully this video is going to drastically improve your overhead swing. So let's get started. Mistake number one, the most obvious one, is your grip. Most people will play with panhandle. The two main problems with your panhandle is that you can't use your forearm rotation, so you're losing a lot of power. And also, what happens with the racket already facing the front, a lot of people, they tend to shuffle backwards like this when they move, which kills their footwork as well as their power. So, the easy fix, well obviously, is to go from panhandle to your V-grip. The easiest way for you to do a V-grip is actually just hold the frame like this, where your bottom of the V is slightly on the left of the frame. And once you do that, you just gently glide that hand down, and that should be your beautiful V-grip. So for a more comprehensive video of how to hold a V-grip, there's a link up here, as well as a link in the comment below. Mistake number two, initial getting ready position, and this is for you to get ready for the overhead. The mistakes that a lot of people make is that to move from here to here, so many people like to do this. Like they do what I call like painting. Like they do this massive painting strokes, and it just looks horrible. It takes time, it's so loose, and there's not much control in it at all. Another common mistake that people tend to make is that they tend to bring the hand out and up rather than just going straight up. Go from here, just allow this hand to glide straight up. And this is your setup position. Mistake number three got to do with the way you set up as well. Well, I personally like to have a high elbow setup. There's a lot of players out there like to set up like this. And I think for more advanced players who have fine-tuned their swing, that even though they set up really low, a lot of Japanese and Asian professional players, they tend to set up like this, but they're still able to drive the elbow up and forward when they hit. For us, for lower level players or people who are starting out or people who want to correct their techniques, I recommend you to start with a beautiful position like this. So get away from this and try to be more like this. You will find that it'll be so much easier for you to drive the elbow forward and up when your elbow preparation is this high. So try that out. Mistake number four. I see a lot of people, they start loading tension in their chest quite early in the preparation. So they get ready like this. Oh my goodness, when you get ready like this, I can start feel tension in the shoulder, in the chest, in the elbow already, and it's just not a nice feeling. You want everything to be nice and relaxed just before the point of impact. So what I like to do is when I get ready, I want to see my hand in front of my face, and I would love to see the elbow out here as well, rather than tuck away behind the body where you can't see anything. So I find this is much more comfortable than this. So once again, this is just my preference. You guys tried it out. Just start feeling your muscle in your body. Let's see which one feels tighter, and you're just trying to find whatever position that's most comfortable for you. Next mistake that I see a lot of people do is that they tend to drop the hand first before they swing. And essentially what this would do is you're going to start dragging this racket behind your head, down by your back, and you're going to be like this kind of position before you swing. So looking from the side, you will see this. Where the racket is right here is what I call scratching your back, or some coaches like to call it pulling your racket out of the backpack. So you imagine there's a backpack here, and essentially you're pulling it out of your backpack. So instead of moving your hand first, try to have your hand stay in there and think about pulling the elbow up. So if you can imagine, so as you can see here, if my hand stay here and I pull my elbow up and forward, naturally the racket will start to pivot back. And you watch if you watch someone like Ansa Young, her swing is so beautiful that you see she will drive the elbow up first, and this racket tend to be in this position where it's quite far away from her body. And that will allow her to pull and punch a lot easier. Take notice of where your racket is in the backswing and get away from this to more this. The next mistake that's really kill your power in your overhead and especially your smash is the position of your elbow just before you hit. Quite often you see people with beautiful preparation, nice and high elbow, but what happens when they swing, they will start pulling the elbow forward and down when they hit. And essentially when that happens, your contact point will be down here and you can't really lower your body into the swing when the elbow is that low. Compared to when I'm drawing my elbow up and forward and swing my hand upwards, you can see the difference between the contact point. Not only that, when I draw my elbow up, I can really lower the whole body into the swing. And you're gonna get so much power. Get away from this to this. Drive the elbow up and drive the hand up. For those who are just transitioning to a V grip, this mistake will happen a lot. And this mistake is very common. As you can imagine, when you're in the V grip, you're gonna be, naturally, your racket will be up and down like this in what I call a cutting position, a chopping position. You know, like when you chop apple or chop meat, you imagine this is your knife blade, it's gotta be up and down. So obviously, you cannot hit a shuttle like this, you got to hit the shuttle like this. So you have to learn how to rotate the forearm to square up the racket at the point of impact. Obviously, if you're under squaring up your racket, then you're gonna slice and the shuttle will go that way. But if you over rotate, you're still gonna slice and the shuttle will go that way. And anytime you slice, you are gonna lose power and distance. So it's very important for you to learn to master of squaring up the racket at the point of impact to allow the shuttle to go straight. And this is just something that you have to be aware of when you're learning how to go to a V grip. Don't worry about power early on in your journey and just really learn to square up the racket slowly and slowly before you start to add more power and power. So whenever you go to badminton and you train, really use a line. You know, so if you stay down the middle line, just concentrate on getting the shuttle to go down the other side, to go down the middle line on the other side. And once you start to do that consistently, you can then start building up more power and start adding the rotation to go with it. But this squaring up process will take time. I just want you to be aware of it so you don't give up too early. Speaking of squaring up, this next mistake really does ruin a lot of people's swing. When you're in your panhandle, your racket head is already facing straight. So a lot of people, in order to hit, they just simply push the hand forward, right? So the racket will always go forward, the racket will always square up, and more importantly, the plane of the swing will always be in a straight line like this. But when you do your V grip and you learn to rotate your body, what happens is that you're going to start adding a lot more angular momentum to your swing. So a lot of people will naturally do like this, where their swing will come across their body and essentially they're slicing the shuttle when they hit their overhead. So to fix this, you really have to learn to swing your arm forward all the way down to about here before you can bring your arms, before you can allow the follow through to go to the side. So rather than start pulling your arms away really early in the swing, you got to allow to swing forward and down before that hand will come out to the side. So get away from this to this. So one of the exercises that I like to teach people is just learn to just swing nice and soft, even just squaring up like this. Just swing it nice and soft and allow this hand to make sure it touches your right thigh. Because if you go like this, it will never touch your right thigh. And once you get used to this, then you can then allow the follow through to come to the side right at the end. Very, very important. There are many people out there who struggle to clear from end to end and make it look easy. And this mistake is likely to kill their power, and that is they do a massive, massive swing because they think Big swing means more power. Their swing is big, their body rotation is big, and it doesn't go anywhere. While some people just stand there and they just flick. And the shuttles do go from end to end. And the big difference between the two is about how compact the swing is. As you can imagine, in badminton, the racket is light and the shuttle is light. You don't need the whole body to feed energy constantly into the swing. So in badminton, it's about having compact swing and having about being relaxed before the impact point, concentrate your power around the impact point, and then relax afterwards. Instead of doing big swing like this, you've got to learn how to do that. And that's the same for your overhand. So rather than doing big swing, it's about being relaxed and then squeeze, and about squeezing your finger, rotating your forearm all around the impact point, concentrating all that movement around the impact point, and then relax afterwards. And that is how you get what I call punching power that sends the shuttle flying with very, very little effort. So if you're making any of those mistakes, I hope the videos can help you. If you can fix any of them, it will drastically improve your overhead shot. And of course, if you can do all of them correctly, you're gonna find a lot of power, but with so much less effort. And this will allow you to concentrate more on your footwork to move around rather than using all your energy into the swing. And that's the beauty of having great racket skill to allow your footwork to take over and allow you to get to all the shuttles much more effortlessly. So if the video is helpful, please like and comment below, especially on any of those mistakes or any tips that you think are going to really boost your badminton skills and allow you to enjoy your badminton game even more and more. And don't forget to tag and share with anyone you know that might benefit from this content as much as you. Every like and comment will help to grow this video so much, and it allows us to build a growing and thriving community of badminton lovers just like you and me. So don't forget to squeeze the subscribe button and let's get better together. Bye-bye.